Hey there guys, this is Gary and welcome back to Get Going Fast, place where we get into this excellent hobby of AI and hopefully sort of a quick and efficient manner in which you might actually learn something. And today is a big day because Framepack Studio has released its update today, big update today. So we're going to talk about all of the things that they have made. Essentially they have increased they've increased the quality. They've made a lot of settings changes. It's a fairly big update that we'll talk about. I think you're going to be quite pleased with it. Such a fantastic application. So we're going to go through that. I'm going to show you a few things that we've been working on. But before we do that, I do want to thank you for liking the channel, subscribing, sharing the video, all of that good stuff. Calling up an old friend and being like, hey, what do you think about AI? You know, I know you and I, we fought over that girl years ago and it was a terrible thing, but you know, she's long gone. And what's here right now is AI. I'd like to share it with you. Have you heard about Get Going Fast? And I'm sure that that will be a bridge builder for you all. So thank you for doing that. I really appreciate that. You're a peacemaker. All right, well, let's move on with this. We're just going to get on to it. Shouldn't be too long a video. I'm going to show you how to update this thing. And like I said, we'll go over a few of the new thingamajobbers. So, hang in there and let's get to the getting on. Okay, let's look at a few things we've done here. You're gonna let's run a few things. So here's an image that I think is pretty impressive here. That's really well. Notice how well they kept her face. Her face actually didn't really change. I think it's a little bit weird there for a second, but that actually still looks like her face there. Obviously awesomeness here, complete awesomeness. This was as easy as typing in a woman riding a dinosaur across the screen. Another beautiful one here. Oops. See if we can get that to restart first. There we go. Just incredible. This is all image to video stuff that we're doing here. And took another old image here, and I think this turned out really good. The quality of this is incredible. Okay, notice a lot of times in these things, the faces change, things morph so much in the image that by the end, it's not there. So this is really good work that we're looking at here. Okay, and let's go over and take a look here and see what's going on. I'll explain to you the new stuff. As usual, before we do that, I want to encourage you to go over to Colin Urb's Patreon page. This is the developer of Framepack Studio, and he is trying to work on this full time. He wants this to continue to become bigger and bigger and bigger. Of course, this comes from Elias Veal, the original here, but Colin has taken it into another branch for us and is appreciated. So feel free to support this guy. I would go over there, give him your support, sign up. Think of it as one of these GoFundMe sort of things where you're paying for him to be able to continue to develop a software, which we're all benefiting from. So thank you, Colin, for doing that. Appreciate that. All right, let's head on back over to the Framepack Studio. Now, first of all, when you first hit reload or when you start it up, you're going to notice it has a thing in here. Person waves the hello, person jumps up and down, person does a dance. So you've got your basic beginner prompt in there. So you can really pretty much just start with throwing whatever you want in there and doing your thing there. Let me get over here to some stuff. Okay, so let's go through a few of the different things that's going on here. As you notice, the layout's a little bit different. He's combined this. So you've got the original frame pack. So that was the one that starts the end frame moves forward. He has also changed to this. Notice he's got original with end frame now. So over here, what you can actually do is start with an image here. You know, wherever the image would be. Well, that didn't show up. But you start with an image and then you show it by the end what you want it to look like. So let's say I started with this one, and then at the end, somehow I had to say a picture of her, but her hands were in the air, or she's looking the other direction. So you can actually say this is what the frame's going to end, This is what it's going to start as, and this is what it's going to end as. So very cool. You can play around with that, of course. Okay, notice he's then still has his F1 over here. So this is the newest F1 thing. Okay, so I'm just going to read through the list of stuff I've got here. He's added in-frame support for the original model. He's added prompt caching. Okay, so actually that means that if you're doing the same prompt over and over, it's not going to have to tokenize it multiple times. So that is an incredible time saver. Okay, really, really good stuff. Okay, as well, he's actually changed the progress bar. So I'm not going to go ahead and run something here, but over here, when you click your add to queue, because this is what you do, you put your picture in, put your prompt, and then look add to queue. Actually, right down in this area, you're going to see that it says estimated time. So it actually is going to give you a pretty good idea of how long you have to wait, whether it's, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. So that is actually really helpful as well. Combine the generation UI into a single interface, which is great. Remember, in the other one, we were actually having to kind of pop in between different windows. So he's pulled that all together, exposed the Tcache parameters. So Tcache, again, expands it, makes your frames go out. So there's a bunch of technical stuff that he's done here for us. He's put the queue stats in the toolbar. So you can actually, up here, you can see what is actually in the queue, how many are running, how many are completed. Now, I am going to tell you that I've had a few times with this app where something goes weird and I cannot find the output video doesn't show up. And I'm like sitting there going, did it do it or not? Okay. So this queue up here is helpful because that lets you know that it's actually done. Okay. You also have a queue button here that you can click. But if this isn't working as well, so you had to hit refresh to get it to go, you still go over here and see this. Now, I do want to show you a trick. If you're running something that looks like it's done and you're like, but where's the output? You can pop over to your file explorer. Okay. You go into your Framepack Studio folder, right? So you're over here, you go in, there is an outputs folder here. So you just find the outputs. Okay. And then you can find your videos in there. So even if it doesn't show up in here, it does save it. Okay. Improved job canceling. So I have used this as you're running something. A lot of times what I'll find with this Framepack is that I'll start doing something and immediately I can tell I'm not going to like this generation. So you want to cancel it out. With different things that can go wonky because it doesn't always work. So he's actually improved that. That's great. Support for the LoRAs in the subfolders. Now, he had LoRAs before, but there were some errors in there. So again, you just got to put the LoRAs in your subfolders. Should work now, work better. So that means you do whatever you want, better hands, better eyes, better bodies, whatever you want. Those are the LoRAs you find. So that makes your generating even better. Okay, this next one, it says refactored models to be ready to introduce more models and more easily. So effectively what he's doing is he's setting this up so that in the future, when Elias Veal comes out with more models, they can be integrated a lot easier. So that's actually really great news. That means that this studio should stay on top of the game quite fast. Okay. Offline. Okay, this is a big one. Offline Hugging Face support for completely offline generation. So one of the things that was going on with this is if you were offline, it still makes a connection to Hugging Face to see if these models exist. And if you were offline, it did not work. This will work 100% offline now. Okay. There were some timeout issues with the queue that he's cleared up. He's fixed some temp cleanup stuff, which was causing some problems. And then just your basic, again, your additional settings and your UI updates. So you're going to find in here that you've got a few extra little settings that you can play with. Again, you're just going to play with the UI. Notice this is a little bit different. So, it just kind of holds together. Notice how, like with this one, if I could type something in here, and then I click over to one of these others, it's actually going to maintain my prompt. So in the original, it didn't. It kept different prompts for each one. So that's a big change. And then again, you just got all your width, your height, all that stuff, and it runs pretty fast. Now, probably what you're wondering is, does it run faster? The question is, it does not necessarily run faster than it has, unless you haven't updated this in the last couple of weeks. Okay. So there was an update that came out around the 5th that really was a big upgrade. So the speed right now is going to stay about the same, but you're going to find that the quality has improved. Again, watch this woman's face. It stays pretty much the same. It doesn't change. That is high quality. Oh, whoops. There we go. That is high quality generation there. Okay. You see her face doesn't alter. A lot of these things, by the time they turn around, you don't recognize them. This one here with this guy jumping around here, I did this a week or so ago, and by the time he turned this way, it was not the same face. Okay. So it's really good. He's done a fantastic job. Okay. So these guys have a team that are working on this, that are testing this stuff, he's working on as much as he can. This is a great update. Let me show you quickly how you can update it if you already have it downloaded. You do not need to re-download it, but there are a few things you have to do. Okay, so let's do that quickly. Let's pop back over to our File Explorer, and here's what we're going to do. Okay, if you've installed this through the Get Going Fast method or whatever, you're going to go into your Framepack Studio, and you're going to see that there's a virtual environment folder, VENV. So what we need to do is we need to get into our terminal. Okay. So just right click and go open in terminal. And that's going to pop us over into this. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we want to open that virtual environment. So we're going to go call VENV. That's that folder. Then inside of there's another folder. And then we're going to call activate. And now you're going to notice we're inside of here. Okay. What we need to do is you need to do this. You need to go get update or get pull. You type get. So get is, we use that to pull down our resources. We're going to type get pull, and it's going to pull down all of the changes that have been made. Okay. So there you go. Pulls it down, makes it, you're now updated, but you're going to have to do one other thing. You need to, there's a few more requirements. So you're going to have to go pip install -r requirements.txt. Okay. Then it's going to go through there and it's going to find the stuff that hasn't been added, and it'll go. Then everything will run just the same as it did before. Okay. So that is super cool. And you're ready to go. You're generating. Okay. You're back in there. Now, I do want to remind you that if you can download this manually, or you can just go over, you can just type in framepack.getgoingfast.pro. Okay. And if you do that, that will take you over to this page here. And you can join as a Farmhand member. It's like $12. You get everything for free. You can just download this. And this has been optimized so it has all of the accelerators. Okay. There is a manual one, but it doesn't have the accelerators with it. So this version has Sage Attention, it has Flash Attention, all that. It will give you a choice to choose what you want for your CUDA. I recommend you use 12.6. All you have to do with this is put it in your, all you gotta do is download it. Let me show you here. Put it in a folder, extract it, and then click the install. As long as your system's set up, you got to have your system set up with the CUDA and Conda and Python. That's just for anything you're doing. Okay. But then this will install, and it will install with the updated version as well. Okay. All right. Well, you guys enjoy. I hope you have a good rest of your night. Great stuff by Colin Urb. So again, be sure to throw something his way. Really cool stuff he's done. If you want to get the Get Going Fast solution, head over to framepack.getgoingfast.pro. Share the stuff you're working on. Come find us on the Discord. We'd love to see what you're working on, and you just be part of the community. Hang out with us. We're pretty chill people. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on X. You can find us over on the Reddits. Yo. In the meanwhile, you be good, and we will catch up with you on the other side. Yo.